Emotional mastery. The 3 must steps to help control your emotions. Are you someone who kind of immediately react and then regret? Or you had a situation last night and then you think, oh my God, why did I, kind of talk like this to my father, maybe, my partner or anybody? And then you start feeling that regret in the next morning. Let me ask you, what was the result because of your reaction, right? You must have actually lost a relation, or probably a client, or probably an employee, or maybe if the other side of the person is so weak, you lost them for life. In this video, I'm going to share 3 simple steps on how you can control your emotions naturally and then master it. But before we go deep into it, show reel, hit it!
I really want to ask one question to you guys. We'll break down a step-by-step process on
Welcome back. There is a saying that it takes a lifetime to build an empire, but it takes just one moment to collapse the empire. How many of you know what I'm saying? There are celebrities who might have built the empire over 5, 10, 20, 30 years, and then they went into suicide just because they didn't have control over the emotions. And that moment, if they can really kind of master the emotions, it wouldn't have happened at all. That is why they say, you are not like a person who is fixed. You are simply a human being in that emotional state at that moment. This is the reason why having control over emotions is really important. And you must be already thinking, I'm trying all this, but it is really not working for me. When I'm in a situation, when there is something happens, I just go and react. And this is exactly why I'm going to share with you these 3 important steps which you can use it in your daily life. Number 1, you need to become aware of what you're focusing on, because whatever you focus, it expands. It is very natural. The moment you're focusing on something constructive in that moment, you're going to see some positive result. And the moment you start focusing on something destructive at that moment, you will see a negative result. It's as simple as that. There is no complications in it. So what you need to do is to see where you're focusing. Especially there will be certain triggers which is causing your emotional reaction. You need to be aware, and probably like somebody not keeping your bed clean, you might get that trigger. Somebody kind of slapping you on that was one of my trigger, right? Somebody slapping on my cheek used to bring me that kind of reaction. I used to slap on others. It was. But what are those triggers? And at that moment, what you're focusing is the key. The moment, what used to happen for me, somebody slapping on my face is kind of an offense, or they're treating me to be, I'm very low, right? Now, what is that trigger for you, and where are you focusing? That's why they say, right, think positive. The more you start thinking positive, it will generate the positive emotions. And the more you start thinking positive emotions, it's a spiraling action, be it negative or positive. But second thing, which also creates a very strong foundation for you to have the stronger control, is the physiology. Have you ever thought what makes all these Hollywood heroes so different from others? It's this physiology. The directors and the cinematographers, they keep a lot of attention on that, because that will define on what they're projecting to the audience. So think about it. You try it on yourself. Look into the mirror and stand upright, shoulders really, kind of confident position. Look to yourself and think about yourself. Any single emotion that comes is really, really very, very positive emotion about yourself. And do the other thing, right? Think about it. When you're really in sad position, how do you kind of portray yourself, right? The chin is low and your eye contact is onto this floor. Think about it. The moment you can change the physiology, the kind of emotions you have will change. Because this whole thing is a chemical factory, right? Based on the physiology you have, your chemicals that are being released within your body will totally change. So make sure you always maintain the right physiology to have that control over the emotions. Once you have the joyful thoughts and then your physiology is right, and third and one of the most important thing that you must do to have the emotional control is breath. Having the right breath patterns. And you might think it is really very, basic thing. That is the difference between very highly successful person and the person who is stagnant in life. There is a quote saying that the people with high emotional intelligence often are more successful than people with high intelligence alone. And what am I saying by this is, you need to understand what are those real secrets that are being really kind of followed by the highly successful people. And breath patterns is one of the most important thing. I can give you an example, right? Sit there upright with the right physiology, just like what we discussed, and then start taking deep breaths. And slowly exhale. How do you feel? Most of the time the answer I get is, I feel certain. I feel absolutely calm. Now what I'm saying is, the same thing can be applied, when you are in conversations, when you are actually in the very important board meetings or even in the classrooms. This alone can change the way that you are actually handling things. Because the moment you have emotional stability in everything you do, the kind of actions you take totally change. You must need to put your emotions in place to have the best outcome of every single action you take. So now onwards, what I want to tell you is try these 3 steps for next 21 days to get that into your natural habit. And these 3 important steps are scientifically proven and also proven to be very, very effective in many successful people's lives, including mine. I wish every one of you to be highly successful by taking care of your emotions, taking complete control of it, and then enjoy the life. And make sure to share the feedback once you implemented these 3 steps, what kind of results you have got. Because your feedback can be a trigger for somebody else who is watching the video. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give a like, or maybe leave a comment on your thoughts, views, or any questions, or maybe your experiences, as I said. But if you're tuning into the channel for the first time, remember to click that subscribe button and also ring the bell next to it, because we upload one video every single day for you in business, lifestyle, spirituality, and career. I'll see you in the next video.